we have on the one hand political insecurity, which is of course across Libya, Egypt, somewhat also Tunisia. You have a lot of unrest, social dislocations and so forth, and at the same time you have uncontrolled spaces ranging essentially from the Sahel zone, of course the south of Libya, to the Sinai. So there's a real belt of uncontrolled spaces that provide safe haven for all kinds of different networks, criminal networks, terrorist networks, and so forth. And they interact with each other in a mutually reinforcing way, if you want. So terrorism is definitely one of the main challenges that we're seeing. It is Islamist inspired, but it's not the same as we used to see. There are different groups that want different things, but they use the same methods. The second thing is that because of internal unrest, you have displacement, mostly inside the region, but also migration towards Europe. This time, not as in the decades before due to social economic reasons, but because of security and political reasons. I don't think that we have the situation that we had in the 80s where we had to make a choice of engaging with authoritarian regimes or supporting democratic reform. In other words, either security or democracy. I think we are in a completely different situation because the Arab states are so weak that actually it's not even a question of authoritarianism. So even the Arab states that are fully governed like Algeria or even Egypt now, they're not capable of managing the threat as fully as they could or should. So what we're seeing is a real implosion of Arab state capacity, and I think in the midterm that's what Europe should focus on. Capacity building, training, helping to reform the state institutions and what they're supposed to deliver. I think that's really the way to go. It's really not about just short-termism, engaging with governments, signing contracts about information sharing and so forth, because that would be just throwing a little bit of water on the fire. That would not extinguish it, I think, substantially.
As you know, Egypt now is facing a very critical time. We have a very big challenge regarding how to encounter the terrorism attacks that has been witnessed in Egypt for the last few months. I think the regional cooperation will be the key, and the comprehensive approach will be very important to bring all the factors and all the states together, because I can see this is a common challenge and it is a shared responsibility. I think the starting point will be more discussions and more direct dialogue between the North and between the South. By having all of this kind of platform or a discussion between the North and the South, we'll have new ideas, we will have a very solid platform in which we can have good implementation of different views, of different initiatives that we have. We don't lack initiatives, we don't lack ideas, but I don't think that we still, or I don't think that we reached to a stage in which we can say that we have streamlined, we have integrated all the efforts that I can see. It's still scattered around the countries. If we have more dialogue, so we'll have a kind of confidence building measures. We can have a comprehensive approach to a regional cooperation in which we can have new mechanism to address these challenges seriously.